UFC 323 was live last night, and oh my god, might be one of the best card of the year. Definitely one of the best cards of the year. What an absolutely unreal card. We're gonna start off with Mohamed Naimov versus Marion Santos. Now I've just rewatched that fight. Quite close first couple rounds. Naimov trying to use the grappling. Santos was defending well, and Santos comes out in the first 20 seconds of the third round, lands a jab right hand, and absolutely puts Naimov to bed. Naimov, sorry. I've been up all night since the fights have happened, but I thought, fuck it, you know what, it was so good. I didn't get the prediction video done, but I thought, you know what, let's get the recap video done. So, yeah, lands the jab right hand, puts him to sleep, lands a couple follow-up shots. Great first fight. What a way to start the card. I said, I hope this sets the tempo for the rest of the card. And, oh my God, it did. Absolutely unreal way to start the card. Yeah, absolutely great from Santos. Got it on my notes, but I've done it on this phone like an idiot, not my other phones. I'll sort that for the next fight. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head that makes Santos on a 6-fight win streak now. 4 fights, 4-0 at featherweight. He did miss weight coming into this, so I suppose you can put a few question marks on the win. First fight of the night, predicted it right as well. Didn't do too great the rest of the card, but started off quite strong. So yeah, I got this one right. Great performance from Santos, TKO, 20 seconds into round 3. And yeah, let's see what we've got next. Up next, we've got Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Tricoli. Another great fight to kick off the card. Another fight that I got right, 2-2 so far. Don't carry on like that, but honestly, awesome fight. Just rewatched it again. Not much. Well, Mansour's pretty much like all over him in the first round, and the second round he ends up getting a really nice takedown, feet fully off the ground, believing in his takedown game. Gets him down. While they're sort of scrambling to get back up, he ends up getting the guillotine. And he got him proper hunched over in a hunchback, choking his brains out. But really good performance from Mansour. I'm pretty sure, he's undefeated. Really looking like a good prospect coming up. Two fights, 2 finishes. You can't really start off a card in the better way. So great performance from Mansour, and excited to see what he does next. Thanks to MMA Junkie, we've also got a clip of Abdul talking after the fight, so I'm gonna let that run now.
It was almost like a faint tap, like, ugh. It wasn't like a panic tap. It was like a, wow, this was already deep before he tapped like that. But then also, when I listen to these things back, I don't all the time like the way that I speak when I'm like highlighting it. Oh man, it was so deep, you know. I think it was secure. It was very, very, very secure. If the ref hadn't stepped in, who knows what would have happened, but I just know that it was secure. It was a beautiful submission.
It was a great submission. It's funny because leading up into that, the commentary team couldn't stop talking about your back muscles. Woo! And so I'm wondering, did that play into that actually guillotine choke, the way that you're able to arch? Is that from the strength in the back as well? So it's not just technique, but as well as you have the perfect physique for it as well?
That's exactly where it came from. Not only that, it's not the back. Forget the muscles. Forget all of that. It's the hips, brother. It's the hips. It's how I was able to get my hips underneath and then come up and then have the correct posture and anything, because when someone has that like that, a lot of people might hook that leg and try to go forward and try and use that momentum from them being in a submission like that. But the hips were in. The hips were in. It was a beautiful submission. I'm happy that it went that way. Shifted it to a 10-finger guillotine. It was wonderful.
Last question. If you can't just elaborate what the 10-finger really means.
I wish I could set this down, but a 10-finger instead of like a high elbow. Instead of the elbow deep like this, you shift your fingers to the middle, and it's right here. It's right here. It's a beautiful submission. It's a beautiful submission. I've hit it many, many times in practice before. The high elbow is nice as well, but I have very, very long arms. I have an 80-inch wingspan. He's 6'6", 6'5", and my wingspan was longer than his.
Thank you to MMA Junkie for that last clip. Up next, we've got Borowski versus Ibo Aslan. I seen Borowski get a 20-second KO on the Contender Series, I believe, coming into this. 3 for 3, another prediction I got right. But oh my god, what a fight. I think it was only about a minute and 20 seconds. It's about 5 knockouts in that minute and 20 seconds. Proper like Pat Barry, Chet Congo-esque sort of fight. It was absolutely unreal. I'm gonna go rewatch it now. Actually, I just need to build one on it, but I'm gonna build one and rewatch it, and I'll finish off my reaction to the fight. Bear with me. Wow, what a fucking fight, man! I literally just had to watch that back twice. Not like it was fucking very long anyway, but nah, absolutely unreal. Fucking straight off the bat. Aslan ends up knocking Beletsky down for a split second. He's straight back up, knocks Aslan down. Aslan's landing big shots. Beletsky's looking in trouble. Then he lands a nice counter, knocks Aslan down again. Aslan's back up, starts landing some good shots again. Then Beletsky just lands a check hook. I'm pretty sure it was a check hook counter. Just absolutely fucking hell, sorry, my apologies. Absolute fucking chaos. One of the best fights I've seen live in a while. 3 for 3 on predictions as well to start off the card, but no, really, really good fight. Just a proper scrap, you know what I mean? You can't really expect anything fucking more from fucking, I don't want to say fighters that level, but you know what I mean? Fucking coming into the fucking, I think it was Beletsky's debut, coming off that Contender Series win. That's how you got to come out and perform, and no shame for Aslan either. I think he put out a good performance as well. Just the better man won on the night. Like I say, very Pat Barry, Chet Congo fucking sort of style. But no, absolutely unreal fight. Great performance from great performance from Beletsky. Good showing from Aslan. I think I've got some videos of Beletsky talking after the fight as well. Bear with me, and I'll show them to you guys as well. But no, 3 for 3 starting the night off. Great fight. Let's see if I got this video for you guys. Turns out I was bugging, so no video, sadly. Even I'm certain I fucking got a video of him fucking after the fight, but never mind. 4th fight of the night, we've got Edson Barboza versus Jalen Turner. Now, first fight of the night that I got wrong. I had too much faith in the old dog. Jalen's obviously only lost to top tier opponents. A very short-lived retirement. Absolute domination. Why haven't I done that already? Let me go rewatch the fight and fucking talk about it a bit more. But yeah, no, great performance from Jalen Turner. Bear with me and I'll give you a bit more details. Fucking, my brain's frazzled from being up all fucking night. But just buzzing off of this card. It was absolutely unreal. But bear with me, sorry, let me get this sorted. I'll tell you what, the first 10 seconds, Barboza actually looked like he had a chance. And then it all went straight downhill from then. Let's be fine. He didn't look bad to start, but he got cut by a big elbow straight away. Turner starts landing some big shots. He lands a big shot that sits Barboza down. Starts looking for a dart, landing a bit of ground and pound. Ends up just absolutely battering him with the box and sits him down again, and gets stopped a couple minutes into the first round. Great performance from Turner. I didn't see why he retired anyway, but this just proves it, you know what I mean? He had a great bit on the mic afterwards as well, getting quite emotional. Nothing wrong with it, but I was going to say just getting caught up on my words there. Nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? Thanks Jesus, always love that, you know what I mean? Shout out Jesus, all of that. Says about not giving up on your dreams. Really good, positive message and stuff. You can take a lot from it. First fight that I got wrong, but yeah, not salty about it at all. Sad to see Barboza lose, but obviously he was on the end of his career. Yeah, Turner, yeah, he looked great, absolutely great. And I'm 110%. I've got some videos of Turner talking after the fight, so bear with me and let me get these videos to you guys. Thanks to MMAfighting.com, we've got a video of Jaden Turner after the fight, talking a bit more about his faith and his retirement and yeah, coming back and talking about his win. So yeah, let me get this video to you. Thanks MMA Fighting for this.
My retirement. That's when I really was like, okay, I'm not playing, tiptoeing around. Like I'm really like in the church, like doing work for the Lord. Like I'm not sinning. I've been celibate, like everything, like the whole nine, like Jesus freak, right? Yeah, I've been doing that. And it's just helped so much. It's exercise all those demons, literally, getting all of it out and walking in holiness and purity in everything that I do, repenting from my sins and just continuing to seek the Lord. It's helped me so much, and it can help anyone. It can help anyone because that's what it's for ultimately. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jesus. I would not be fighting again if that didn't happen. I hung it up and I was standing on it. I didn't want to come back. And when I prayed, I'll tell you guys this. I prayed. I said, Lord, where do you want me to go? I said, what door do you want to open for me? Because I don't want to fight anymore. I said, open anything. He was like, well, you could go do this. You can go coach here. You got other opportunities. You can do other things that you want. You have free will. But he said, I want you here. And I was like, are you sure? He said, yeah, I want you here. I was like, nah, but I said I want to do something else. I want you here. And when he told me that, I was like, all right. Prayed a few days later. He said, you're going to come back and you're going to fight a legend. I had no idea it would be Edson Barboza because he was fighting at 45. Didn't even think about it. One day my manager calls me, hey, yeah, we're gonna end the year off with a bang. Like, I'm pretty sure you're going to get a fight soon. I was like, all right, like, let's see. Literally a few hours later, he calls me. What do you think about fighting Edson Barboza? I said, done. That was God. There's no other way to explain that besides God. Talked to Edson after. He said, I'm happy God got glorified after this fight. Like, that's all I wanted. And, you know, you can't make these things up, you know, but if I sit here and explain all these things, people are going to start thinking you're crazy. And it's like, nah, you know, but that's what it was. That's what it was. It's all by God. It's all through God, because if I didn't want to come back and I didn't make any plans like, oh, I need this to happen or this to happen. He said, this is what's going to happen.
Thank yous to MMA Fighting aren't done yet, because I've got another video from MMA Fighting on Jalen Turner talking about that cut that opened at Barboza and how that might have affected the outcome of the fight. So I'll let them take it away.
Watching Edson before I got to the UFC. So to go share the octagon with him was such an honor and a blessing.
And that cut that you cut him open with that standing elbow, you ever seen a cut that deep and that wide in a fight like that?
No, that was the quickest I've ever seen a cut bleed, and it was so cool. Like I don't want to sound like crazy, but that was kind of cool. Like, dang, yeah.
Could this performance have gone any more perfect for you after, you know, your time away and then to return, get a legend, get a performance like this in a moment that a lot of people have been talking about and generally seem happy to see you back in the UFC?
I feel like the result, yes, like it played out very well, but also in my heart, like I know I'm a striker through and through, but man, I just wish I would have grabbed with him and just got a sub, you know, like save him some damage, you know what I mean? Like, but you know, it's what we signed up for. So.
And it looked like you guys were chatting for a bit after the fight. What was he saying? Well, I guess what were you saying to each other in there?
He was really praising God. You know, praising the Lord, and he was happy that I stepped back in there with him, and ultimately that was the end goal for God's name.
Thank you to MMA Fighting for them last couple of videos. It's my first time including videos in my video. I've done a little bit of research from what I can tell. As long as you giving the people fair credit, making sure people know where it's from, you're giving a bit of input into it yourself, talking about it. Yeah, it should be alright. So fingers crossed it should be alright. But now up next we've got Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. I'm gonna have a coffee and then decide if I am or am not gonna rewatch this fight, because I'll be honest, it weren't the best fight in the world. Fifth fight of the night, first fight where there wasn't a finish, so that's probably got a bit to do with it. Not every fight can be a barn burner, we know that, but when you're on a finish streak like that, it's a bit hard to not get mad like the crowd was doing. But not an awful fight, but let me get my coffee down me, because I'm fucking shattered. Get myself ready to do recap these prelims, do the last fight on the early prelims, recap the prelims. But yeah, bear with me and we'll talk about Vettori versus Ferreira. Right, I'm 2 minutes into the Vettori fight and I've decided I ain't gonna watch it. Yeah, from what I can remember, it wasn't an awful fight. Like I say, you know how Vettori fights, he always comes tough, he's durable, he can eat, seems like absolutely anything. Don't think he's ever been knocked out. I don't think he's been finished. I might be wrong, but I'm certain he's not been knocked out. He might have been submitted. But no, good performance from Ferreira. Another one similar to Santos earlier in the card. He's missed weight, so it's like, do you know what I mean? Vittori's obviously used to that, missing weight. Obviously, you remember the Paulo Costa fight. Blaming it on Vettori for missing weight as well. Fucking Costa, joker. Fucking love Costa. But yeah, probably the worst fight on the early prelims. But this could have very well been the best fight on the early prelims on a different card. So you can't complain about it too much. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, quite, yeah. It was exactly that. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't anything special, but it weren't an awful fight. Not the best way to wrap up the early prelims. Could have done with a finish going into the prelims, but I'm pretty sure this next fight up on the prelims, if I'm right, I'll have to check. I'm not sure if it's the Macy Barber fight or the McKenny fight, or it might even be the Ziam Sedadudada guy. I'm gonna have to check. But yeah, no, that's the recap for the early prelims. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully I know I'm gonna be eating some of my words, but I'm hoping you can give me a bit of a break and that on the nose seat. But I thought couldn't get the predictions video out. But like I say, I'm still running off the buzz. The Vettori, watching 2 minutes of Vettori fights just killed the buzz a little bit. But hopefully the Zian fight will bring that energy back up a little bit and we'll get this recap done for the prelims. So thank you. Right, I'm going to have to apologise because this is a little bit out of order, but I told you guys I had a video of Berensky talking about his wild KO over Ibo Aslan. Thanks to MMA Fighting again, absolutely coming in clutch on this video, giving you guys a break from listening to me fucking talk. But no, yeah, I knew I weren't going crazy, so I know it's out of track. It was 2 fights ago, but I ain't fucking good enough on this editing thing to go back and edit it in back there. I've got to do it all step by step, especially doing this thing, adding the videos and that. My first time adding the videos, normally I just add all my photos, do my talking over it, edit it so I'm talking over the photos that I'm talking about. But yeah, obviously first time doing the videos, so forgive me, but I knew I wasn't going crazy. I don't want to put the video to waste. So yeah, this is MMA Fighting's video of Bereski post-fight talking about that absolute barn burner of a fight. Yeah, way better than the Vettori fight. He looks a bit like Vettori as well, sort of Polish Vettori. But yeah, what's it called? Right, let Bereski take it away.
Thank you very much. I am so happy. Fight was great because this is another first round finish of my career. So his UFC debut, win by knockout. So I am very happy.
Well, not only is it a win by knockout, people are saying that's one of the best fights of the year for as long as it lasted. So I guess what is it like being in there? Because both of you got dropped quite a few times. So just what was the chaos like in firsthand?
For sure, I don't remember the fight, so I can say too much. But my trainer told me that I was hurt. But after I'm hurt, he was hurt much.
What was it like when you dropped him and he kept getting up? Because I think most people would assume that their opponent would be finished at that point.
Can you repeat?
What was it like when you would drop him and he kept coming standing up?
He after the first knockout. After the first knockout, he.
Yeah, after you knocked him down.
I thought that that was finished, but he stand up, he attacked me, and I tried the same punch and was correct.
Were you surprised at how tough he was in there?
I expected that Ibo goes on me. He had 2 losses, so he must knock me out in this fight. Yeah, so he go on me.
I guess moving forward, when do you want to fight again? Because I think a lot of fans are going to want to see you again very soon. Because, like I said, that was one of the best fights we've seen this year.
I think I need few days or much break because doctor told me. And after this, I start training and I will be waiting for the contract and for the next fight.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When you go back and watch it, they were losing their minds. Daniel Cormier, you could barely understand them, but for them to say that this is one of the funnest fights that they've ever seen, how does that make you feel?
I am so excited that UFC debut and I give you a lot of good emotion. Yeah, I give you a good show, so I am very excited for this.
And you mentioned like that debut. What was it like walking out in there into the T-Mobile Arena for the first time?
I was focused on the goal. I was focused on my opponent, but it's cool.
To open up the prelims, we had Nazim Sedikov versus Fares Ziam. Now, this was a really good fight to get the momentum going again after that last fight, that Vittori fight. Ziam was looking really strong with in the clinch work. Even though Zedekov was initiating all of the wrestling, all of the clinching, he was still coming out on top. Gets a single leg takedown, gets straight back up low. Crowd start booing, obviously bloodthirsty, not surprised after the first 4 fights, and the 5th fight, that Vittori fight, I can see why they're getting a bit aggy, wanting to see blood, see more blood. He ends up getting an arm triangle into a back take. He's flying really well, great top control, comes close with the rear naked. Like I say, he's absolutely controlling the wrestling, even though Zedekov's initiating everything because Ziam's doing so well with the striking. Zedekov's not a joke as well. That's why I picked him, thought he's going to win. He is on a 12-fight unbeaten streak before this. He ends up going for the takedown. Ziam gets straight back up, lands some big shots, the level changes, high crotch into a takedown, takes him down again with a minute to go. He gets a half Nelson into the back take with about 20 seconds to go. Lands a big right, starts landing some big follow-up shots. But Jason Herzog comes in and stops it right on the buzzer. I couldn't really tell if Sedikov couldn't get up or if Herzog was sort of holding him down, like, look, buddy, it's over sort of thing. But absolutely real performance from Ziam. You got to give him a top 15 opponent next. He's on the same fight win streak as Paddy. Obviously, they've just had a bit of a different path, and to no fault of his own, Paddy's fought a lot higher competition, gone through the ranks. Thanks to the UFC or not, Paddy's still beat everyone they've put in front of him, so can't complain too much. But yeah, you got to give Ziam at least a top 15 opponent next. Looks absolutely great. 6 fights in a row. Absolutely unreal performance from Ziam. Another one that I got wrong on the prediction, but wow, what a great fight to get the momentum going again. Starting off the prelims, I'm pretty sure, what a great fight to start off the prelims. Second fight on the prelims, we've got Macy Barber versus Karine Silva. Now, I'll be so real. I think I literally went and built one during this fight. I can't remember anything about it. Either that or I snoozed off, or both. But I can't be fucked to rewatch it anyway. I don't think it was too exciting. Obviously everyone knows what Macy Barber's about. That picture that was going viral during the week. She's got back, do you know what I mean? Her and Mackenzie Dern. Definitely a tough competition for his pound for pound best back in women's MMA. But yeah, nah, I'll be real. I ain't rewatching this. I'm only on the prelims, and do you know what I mean? It's already like halfway through the day, and that well, I ain't got anything to do today, but I got a flight to catch tomorrow. But yeah, what's it called? Fair play to Macy Barber. We've actually, luckily enough, we've got a video from MMA Junkie. Thanks to MMA Junkie, we've got a video of Macy Barber post-fight, talking a bit more about the win and what it meant to her and stuff. So, yeah, fair play to her. Nothing to take away from her or Karine Silva. I've actually got a signed Karine Silva UFC card. Like Topps trading card thing. Don't know if I can take a picture and add it in now. I get a bit paranoid. I've already got all my photos and videos saved, and now I'm doing me speaking. But yeah, no, what's it called? Yeah, let's take it that MMA Junkie take over and tell you a little bit more about what happened in the fight.
Yeah, I think that was the win. I think that was exactly what I think that's exactly how I kind of felt, you know. Even in the interview with Joe, I was like, you know, I'm just really happy to be here. I'm just really blessed to just walk out, do what I love. I mean, yes, when I was walking out, I mean, at the end of the day, like, this is a job that I have. There's another woman standing in front of me, and I have a goal and a dream, you know, that I am chasing, and she's in my way. There's nothing that is going to get in the way of that, but at the same time, there is a girl inside of me that just loves to go in there and chase a dream too, you know, and having that taken away from me is really challenging, and it's really frustrating, especially when I have a bunch of people that are putting in hours of work with me and you know, constantly, you know, checking on me, trying to help me chase this dream, trying to make sure that I'm doing the right things and make sure that they're doing the right things, you know, to help me accomplish my goals. And so when I don't get to do what I love, it's frustrating. And so just being able to walk out to the octagon tonight was a win, and was everything I could have dreamed of. And so being able to win tonight was just, you know, like, that was the job being done. But
up next, we've got an awesome fight that got the ball back rolling again. Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. Now, Chris Duncan and T-Rex always come to scrap. I seen some weird betting movement going on, big spike on Duncan, so I ended up going off my gut feeling and going with T-Rex, but it's just one of them fights that could really go either way. They're both just scrappers. Yeah, the T-Rex coming into this one, obviously that great debut KO over Matt Frivola. I remember watching that live. Yeah, absolutely unreal, especially his story coming into it, all his problems that he had, fighting his addiction and stuff like that. Yeah, absolute unreal story. If I don't know if you've seen the video of him dying and getting brought back to life, it's nuts. Yeah, shout out T-Rex, man, what a guy. But yeah, 4 finishes in his last 5 fights, coming into this one really hot. Chris Duncan, not far off. He was on a 3-fight win streak. 7 fights in the UFC. T-Rex, unsurprisingly, he's got the shortest fight time for active lightweights, averaging at just 2 minutes a fight. That's mental. He's not waiting about, is he? But ended up finishing at a pick'em. But like I say, that was that weird line movement that threw me off. I shouldn't let anything like that throw me off. But I thought we had another Bulgarian moment on our hands, but yeah, the UFC wouldn't be that. I don't think they'd be that stupid to let that happen again, especially with the FBI sniffing about trying to figure out what happened. But McKenny comes out, lands a big knee straight away in the first couple seconds into a head kick, which actually wobbles Duncan early into the fight. He's landing nice combos. He's all over Duncan. Duncan panic shoots, sort of gets the takedown. T-Rex is looking for the giddy, but he doesn't end up getting it. They get back up. Duncan lands a nice right hand, which sort of stuns T-Rex. And they end up just going back and forth. It gets really scrappy. Both landing big shots, hurting each other. Duncan ends up landing a big elbow when he's got him against the cage in a bit of a clinch. It sits T-Rex down. He just starts following up with loads of ground and pound. Not the biggest shots, but they didn't look like they were ticketing him. But T-Rex somehow ends up standing up, eating all of these shots, but he ends up falling straight back down. Ends up sort of getting up again, but get back down again. Duncan's looking for the giddy, don't get the giddy, but he turns it into a das, locks it in, and ends up finishing T-Rex late in the first round. Absolutely unreal fight. You knew it was going to be a barn burner with these two, but Duncan's looking great. The last couple fights that he's had, that Rebecca fight, I'm not 100% certain if that's his last fight, the Rebecca fight, but wow, what a scrap that was. You can't not love Duncan after watching that fight. Yeah, what an absolute dog. But great win for Duncan. He's the comeback king, you know. I'm not sure if he won that fight on the Contender Series, you know, the one that went viral where he gets knocked down and then the other fella gets knocked down. I should have checked this, but I'm pretty sure Duncan ends up getting knocked down, ends up like looking like he's about to get finished, then he ends up turning around and finishing the fella, or vice versa. I'm not 100% honest with you, but either way, absolutely great performance from Duncan. Yeah, great performance. I'm not sure if T-Rex is ranked, I'm not 100%, but I think Duncan should get a top, or you could even make the Duncan Ziam fight. That could be an interesting fight, both on the same schedule. You never know, that could be quite good. But yeah, great performance from Chris Duncan. Another prediction that I got wrong, but yeah, nothing to complain about. What an absolute unreal fight. Like I say, getting the ball back rolling again, going into this last fight on the prelims. I think that's, off the top of my head, I want to say that's 8 fights and we've had 6 finishes. So you can't complain about that, can you? But yeah, no, great performance from Duncan, and let's see what we've got to finish off the prelims. Now, thanks to Full Send MMA, we've actually got a video of Chris Duncan showing some love and a bit of respect to Terence McKenny after the fight. Yeah, I'll let Chris Duncan take it away. Thank you, Full Send MMA.
It was like coming up, you know, he's an absolute beast, an absolute pleasure to be around. You know, he says a lot of crazy stuff online, but that's just social media, that's build his character, that's why he's so popular, and that's why this fight was made. And if Terence is watching this right now, I just want to say thank you so much for, I'll hopefully see you at the hotel. Thank you for sharing the octagon with me. You're a mad respect for you, my man, and hopefully we'll meet up soon, maybe get a beer and maybe some food that's over 100 calories, because I've been on a diet for a long time.
And thanks to MMA Fighting again, we've got a little video of Chris Duncan talking about how much he's actually weighing on fight night, which I know fighters tend to put on a lot of weight after weigh-ins. Yeah, I know Khabib was, he used to come in quite heavy. I think Duncan might actually be heavier than Khabib, what Khabib would be in the cage. I'm sure Khabib was around the 180, 190 pound mark in the cage. But yeah, let's let Duncan take it away.
And then just circled off the cage. But yeah, it was a nightmare to deal with. Like how do you prepare for that? Like, there's so many punches and kicks coming for you. I think the cage got me in trouble and I stood in front of him a little bit too much. But like I say, you know, I weathered the storm. I'm born and bred Scottish. You can't teach what I have, and we came out on top once again. Like with my calories and stuff like that, I was eating like 1,200 calories some days, just to try and catch up. I was a bit behind. You know, I'm great at suffering. I'm great at, you know, doing all these things that nobody else will do. And you know, I'm going to have a think about it. I'm going home and enjoy my time with my family, man. I've missed them so much, and I can't wait to see them and give them a cuddle.
So 1,200 calories is not a lot for just a normal person. What's it like doing that and having to be a high-level athlete?
Everybody, like at ATT, you know, they're like, oh, you're so big, this, that, and the other thing. I'm probably one of the biggest 155ers in that cage. Not in stature, but certainly in muscle. I think I walked into the cage tonight with my shoes off, and I had my joggies on and my top on. I weighed 188. So I was a big boy this morning. I was a big boy. Lightweights!
Again, another big shout out to MMA fighting. Absolutely keeping this video rolling. But we've got Chris Duncan talking about what he thinks to Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje fighting for the interim title. This will be the last Chris Duncan video, so hopefully I've not overloaded you with Chris Duncan, but I think he's an awesome fighter, and yeah, I thought he's got a lot of good things to say after the fight. So yeah, fucking hell, sounding like a broken record. Take it away, Chris.
Wasn't involved in the interim fight.
Honestly, I really couldn't give a fuck about it all. It's just, these names are above me right now. I'm so far away from that right now that I don't even think about it. It's like people get so dealt into it about like who they think deserves this and who they think deserves that. Dana White, the UFC, Sean Shelby, Mike, all these sorts of people, Hunter, they decide. It's not everybody else's job. And the thing is as well, like, there's a bigger narrative around that as well, because like Paddy and Justin fighting, and then like people are talking about that. It's big news, and it's just as big as maybe it would be if Arman was to fight for the title, you know. So, you know, any publicity is good publicity, as they say. So it's good to, you know, everybody's talking about the UFC now, and it's beginning to be the fastest growing, well, it is the fastest growing sport in the world right now, and it's going to be the biggest. It's going to, I think it will take.
To finish off the prelims and another wrong prediction, we've got Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torres. Now, Dawson, I remember a couple years ago when Dawson was meant to be the next American Khabib. Just shows you what that American wrestling's like, hey? But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he got slept by Bobby Green in that fight, and that sort of killed all the hype train. But yeah, Torres, he looks big for lightweight. It sort of reminded me a bit of Ziam's build. We'll get onto that in a bit as well. That could be the fight to make next. But yeah, Dawson come out. He shoots but fails. Torres is doing really well to stay patient, not getting overzealous. Crowd starts chanting for Mexico, and then booing, still bloodthirsty, which I'm not surprised. Even after just watching that unreal Duncan-Terence McKinney fight, well, saying that, yeah, you've just watched that, and before that you've had them other early prelims, all them bangers of a fights, you are going to be bloodthirsty, ain't you? But Torres ends up landing a good left, then a right, watching it back, it's just a left hook which sits him down. But yeah, sits him down with a left hook, lands a couple ground and pound shots, ref steps in and ends the fight. Great performance from Torres. He come into this an underdog as well. Great underdog performance. He should be in the top 15 by Tuesday, considering that Dawson was ranked 13. So, like to see Torres in the top 15. There's an argument there that do you make Torres versus Ziam for the next fight? I know I'm pretty boring. I normally just try and match up fighters that have been on the same card as each other, but they normally do that anyway, or a couple weeks here and there, so they're on the same schedule. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no, absolute great fight to end the prelims. Torres with a lovely TKO over Dawson, getting that ball rolling going into the main card. And I don't think Torres could have done a nicer job, to be fair. Great performance. I'd love to see what's next for him. But that was the prelims. Doing pretty awful on predictions. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure I started out 3-3, and then I I think total on the early prelims, I was Santos, got that. Malik, got that. Beretsky, got that. Then I picked Barboza. Jalen Turner won that, so lost that. Then Marvin Vittori, I picked. He lost that. Bruno Ferreira won that. So 3 and 5 on the early prelims. And then the prelims, I picked wrong for the Ziam fight. I picked Zedekov. Ziam got the win in that one. Picked right for the Macy Barber fight. Macy Barber saving me, at least getting me one prediction right on the prelims. The T-Rex fight, I got that prediction wrong. Chris Duncan getting the win in that fight. And then obviously this fight predicted wrong as well, with me picking Dawson to get the win and Torres obviously getting this great win over him. So yeah, that's the prelims and the early prelims. Let's get the main card started, which I'm very excited to rewatch. I've actually just had my nan and granddad arrive because I'm going on holiday tomorrow, so it's someone to look after my mum, because that's my job normally. And yeah, I'm going to sit down with my nan and granddad and show them the fights that have the main card that was on last night. Obviously, I need to rewatch them anyway to do my recap, and they're not on UFC Fight Pass, which I use on my phone to get up on my TV in my bedroom. So I've sort of got to share the living room with them. So they're being good enough to let me get my recaps, and hopefully they're going to like a bit of the violence as well. So yeah, let's get the main card started. To kick off the main card, we've got Polish Power, Jan Blachowicz versus Anthony Smith. Nah, I'm only kidding. Fuck it. Evil Anthony Smith, Bogdan Guskov. Now, this was a bit of a weird fight. Jan's quite unfortunate. It seems like he's had a lot of these weird fights recently. But I thought Jan done enough to win it, in my opinion. But I'm just about to rewatch it. Like I said, I'm going to rewatch it with my nan and granddad and all, so I might even be able to get their feedback, a little bit of input on the fight. I have to wait and see if they're not camera shy, but you know what I mean, want to put their voice on it. But they don't even watch it. So, but yeah, well, I'm going to build one, have a coffee, obviously just finish the early prelims, the prelims. Getting, do you know what I mean? It's getting late now, getting hours into this, but I'm still riding that high, especially just off that last fight. Lovely knockout from Torres. Yeah, definitely wakes you up a bit. So yeah, let me rewatch the fight, and I'll give you a bit more of an in-depth opinion on the fight, and if I still think Jan won it. Right, me and my nan have just watched the Blachowicz Guskov fight. Nan, who do you reckon won? Red shorts or white shorts?
Red shorts. The red short guy came back at him and gave him a really good hiding.
There you go. That's the expert opinion from me, Nan. Thank you. Big shout out to my nan there for her expert opinion. She's on the robbery train as well, thinking that Jan got robbed. After watching it again, I thought it literally could have been the same way. Bollocks, I ain't got my fucking phone on me. 2 secs, I need my notes. Yeah, I thought it was a very close first round, but I thought Jan just done enough, was landing the bigger shots, he was targeting that leg, landed a bit more, I think, as well. Yeah, I thought Jan just done enough to win that first round. The second round, on the other hand, oh my God, Guskov was looking unstoppable. He knocked Jan down with that big shot, and then for the rest of the round, that was about a minute in, for 4 minutes of the round, he had ground control, and he was doing stuff with the ground control, which a lot of fighters don't do. They get the ground control and they just sit there and lay on top of their opponent. Like, what are you doing? Guskov was landing big shots. He was landing some big punches. He landed some big elbows. He cut Jan open. Yeah, easily a 10-8 round to Guskov. I thought it was easily a 10-8 round. But yeah, thinking about it, that would make it a draw. But yeah, I thought 10-9 first round to Jan, 10-8 second round Guskov, obviously making it God, I can't I can't do maths like that. I'm not even gonna try bother. Anyway, I can see why it was a draw. I could see Jan winning it. Yeah, no, absolutely unreal fight to kick off the main card. Great fight. Yeah, will be yeah, quite an unfortunate run of fights for Jan, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what both of them have got next. They both look really good. So, great fight to start the main card. Up next, we've got an absolutely unreal fight. Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. Now, first off, I've just finished up watching the fight with my Nans, so I'm going to get my Nan's opinion on the fight first. What do you think, Nan? White shorts or black shorts?
White shorts, but the terrier kept going at him, and he'd done really well.
Right, thank you very much, Nan. Big thanks again to my Nan for her opinion on that fight. I weren't expecting to have a special guest on this episode, but it's just how it's turned out. But yeah, wow, what a fight from Talbot and Cejudo. Great first round from Talbot. He's looking super sharp. Turned the tables, but he actually ended up taking Cejudo down. He took him down twice. He's only landed one takedown in his 5 previous fights in the UFC before this, so he really was coming out here tonight to prove a point and be like, look, I'm going to beat you at your own game, even though I'm the striker. And yeah, wow, the second round he come out looking even stronger, knocks Cejudo down, cut him right open. Looks like he could have got the finish, but Cejudo ended up defending well. And third round, not as strong as the second, in my opinion, but another great round from Talbot. Absolute whitewash. No shame in Cejudo. He's at the end of his career. Do you know what I mean? He's getting proper. He's getting an old boy now. He's had a great career. Olympic medalist, double champion, flyweight and bantamweight. Yeah, you certainly can't knock Cejudo's career. It's been awesome watching his fights. I wish him a proper happy retirement. We'll have to wait and see if he stays retired this time, but you never know. But wow, yeah, I thought after the Barcelos fight, Talbot got fraud checked, but fucking hell, how wrong was I? Absolutely unreal performance from Talbot. I think you got to give him someone in the top 5 next. I'd have to look at the rankings. I'm not too sure off the top of my head. Maybe an O'Malley, Song Yadong, depending who wins that fight. I don't know if that's a bit of a stretch, but no, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, what a great fight from Peyton Talbot. Absolutely unreal performance, and yeah, just carrying on the night with absolutely unreal fights. So another prediction wrong, but yeah, no saltiness here. What a great fight. Yeah, big well done to Peyton Talbot. I also want to give Championship Rounds a big shout out, because they've actually got a video of Cejudo speaking to Dana White after the fight. So I'm going to play this video, let you guys get a little bit more info with why he chose to retire after this fight. Big shout out to Championship Rounds for that last video. We've now got I forgot the name, so I'll credit him after the video, but we've got a video of Peyton Talbot discussing his fight with Henry Cejudo. Sorry, just quick before the video starts, a big thank you and shout out to Red Corner MMA for providing us with this video of Peyton Talbot discussing his fight with Henry Cejudo.
Rob, computer.
I did see it.
What did you think of the fight?
Phenomenal fight. That was crazy. They both looked unstoppable, like machines. It's crazy, the ceiling of this sport, and the weight class that I'm in right now. So it's really cool to see, and it's inspiring. So I hope to be there someday.
You mentioned that's inspiring. What are some things you took away from that high-level fight you just saw?
Man, you can just never get too comfortable. Like, champion or not, there's always going to be somebody that is just clawing their way up to the top. And the way both of those guys looked, like, based on the night, either one of them would win or probably beat anybody else in this division. So it just kind of shows that you always got to be on your shit. Like you can't, even when you don't have a fight coming up, you gotta.
Big thank you again for Red Corner MMA for that last video of Peyton Tabit. For the third fight of the prelims, the third fight of the main card and third to last fight of the main card, we've got Brandon Moreno, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, versus Tatsuri Taira. Now, I'm just about to go rewatch this fight with my nan, so I'll be back very shortly with my nan's opinion following with mine. We've just finished rewatching Royval versus we're just finished watching Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuri Taira. Nan, what do you think to that? Red shorts or white shorts?
Oh, definitely white shorts. He came out at him and he kept him down.
Right, brilliant. Thank you for that, Nan. Wow, what a performance from Tatsuri Taira. Bit of a weird first round. Not much really happened. Just Moreno holding Taisura in a sort of triangle for the whole round. I think arguably Taisura landed more and bigger shots in the round, even though he was in that triangle for about 4 minutes. But he come out in the second looking so much stronger, landing good shots. He ends up taking Moreno down. And they sprawl a bit, they're fannying about on the ground, for lack of better words, and Taisura ends up flattening him out, landing big shots. He ends up, the shots are unanswered, and the ref steps in and stops the fight. What a performance from Taisura. Another prediction that I got wrong. I thought Moreno had the experience. He was just a higher caliber level of fighter than what Taisura's faced already. But wow, what a great fight from Taisura. Be interesting to see what they do next with him. Trying to think at flyweight now. Maybe you could do a Pantoja. Nah, you got to give Pantoja the rematch. Sorry, but we'll get onto that. But yeah, great performance from Tatsuri Taira. Great fight. Co-main event. Big shout out and thank you to MMA Junkie for providing this next video we're going to watch. But Tatsuri Taira's convinced that he's worthy to be Joshua Van's next opponent. I'm not too sure about that. I think Pantoja should get the rematch. Whether someone else fights Van next first. But we'll have to wait and see about that. But let's see what Tatsuri Taira's got to say about the situation.
There, did the UFC come get you? How did that happen?
タイトル戦をあそこで見てましたけど、あれは自分から希望したんですか、それとも UFC から呼ばれた形になったんでしょうか。
いや、自分希望しました。インタビュー受けてたんですけど、話が入ってこなくて試合見たいって言いました。
I think I can say I asked for it. I was taking interviews, but I mean, I had to watch that fight. I couldn't focus on the interview so much, so I asked.
I think you looked as shocked as any of us as the result. What are your thoughts on what unfolded in the title fight?
みんなが衝撃的だった試合になっちゃったと思いますけど、達郎さんから見てどうですか。
ショックだったけど、終わり方はショックだったけど、ジョシュア・バンの日になったのかなって思います。
Yeah, the ending was a shock, for sure, shocked. But I just say it's Joshua Van's day. It was it was his day.
Yeah. Last thing for me, we don't know, Pantoja's health, but I mean, you called. Do you want that title shot? I mean, do you feel like, hey, that should be the next fight, you and Joshua Van?
パントージャの状態はわからないと思いますけど、今の気持ち的にも、バンとタイラーが次であるべきと思ってますか。
Yes, I want to fight.
Big thank you to MMA Junkie for that last video. We've got another video next from bear with me, I'll get the name of the guys in a sec. But it's Taisura discussing his victory over Brandon Moreno. MMA Crazy, we've got a thank for this video, so thank you MMA Crazy. And let's hear Taisura react over his win over Brandon Moreno.
The opening round was a little bit odd. I guess, can you talk about the position in the opening round? Were you in any danger at all at any point with the legs wrapped around, or were you just simply waiting through the hold?
ラウンドの状況っていうのはプラン通りではなかったんですけど、すごい僕がフィニッシュされるっていうプレッシャーは感じなくて、相手に力を使わせて待ってました。
That position in the first round, definitely not something I planned. It wasn't the plan, but I didn't feel any pressure. And at the end, I was more like waiting for him to, keep doing it and kind of losing the energy and getting tired.
Yeah. Then you came out and turned things around in the second. Obviously not your job to stop fights, but did you think the fight was ready to be stopped at that point? And is there any frustration maybe that people are kind of questioning the biggest win of your career and whether it should have been stopped?
僕的にはなんか彼がモレノがダメージを負ってるっていうのがすごい分かって、2ラウンドの、組んだ時にブランドンに力が入ってないのが分かったので、フィニッシュまで行こうって思ったので、そこまでフィニッシュのタイミングっていうのは驚きはなかったです。
For me, when the second round started, and even before when the pound happened, when I grabbed him and we got scrambled, I felt that his power was definitely low. So
in the co-main event, we've got Alexandra the Butcher, the Cannibal, Pantoja versus Joshua Van. Yeah, wow, you couldn't even write it, could you? Who was expecting that? 6-fight win streak. I thought Pantoja's been looking absolutely unstoppable. It's a fluke, but not a fluke. I mean, he caused it himself by attempting the kick, in my opinion. But I'm going to show my nan this absolute mindfuck of a fight, and then I'll get back to you guys with some more opinion on it. We've just finished rewatching Pantoja versus Joshua Van. Wow, Nan, what did you think to that?
Oh, that was a freak accident. He couldn't carry on fighting after that.
Fluke accident. That's what a lot of people are saying. Cheers, Nan. I'm going to have to agree with my nan there. I think that was a complete freak accident. I don't want to say fluke on Van's behalf because Pantoja threw the kick. Pantoja's the one who landed, how he landed. Whether that's his fault or not, whether you can control that or not, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I'm not someone who could tell you. Yeah, I think it was just a freak accident. Pantoja's got to get the rematch as soon as he's healthy, whether or not how long it takes him to get healthy, considering his age. I think he's like 35, 36 now. It looked like a really nasty injury, so we'll have to give it a couple days, a week, see what the doctors say. But yeah, you got to give props to Van. I think that makes him one of the youngest champions. It could make him the youngest flyweight champion. Not 100% sure on that one, but yeah, Van done everything that he could. A bit of an easier night than he expected, I think, but I'd love to see the rematch and see, was it a fluke? Has Van really got it? But yeah, well done to Van. What a night for him. I think every male champion this year's changed hands. Yeah, absolutely unreal. Well, these last two fights made that a fact, I'm pretty sure. But we'll get on to the last fight in a minute. But yeah, wow, like I say, my floor was on the jaw when I was watching this live. But my jaw was on the floor. But yeah, wow, what a fight. And yeah, we'll get on to the co-main event. We'll get on to the main event after some videos. Bear with me. Now I want to give a big thank you and shout out to Full Send MMA for this next clip, where we've got Joshua Van talking after his fight on the critics, and let's just say he's not too happy with them. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Going to be some criticism because people are going to be like, man, it wasn't technically, we didn't get to see much of the fight. So what would you say to the people that are going to, criticize you as well?
Well, fuck them, because, you know what I mean? If you do good, they'll say some shit. If you do bad, they'll say some shit. So do what make you happy at the end of the day. But, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't planning on doing that either, you know what I mean? It just happened. And, like I said, I want to run it back, man. We won. We put in the work, and we got the result, and now it's time to celebrate, you know what I mean? That's like, 5 months of training camp, you know what I mean? So you got to let your body relax a little bit and enjoy.
Thank you for Full Send MMA for that last clip. Joshua Van doesn't seem too happy about people saying that, does he? But this next clip, we've got Pantoja speaking for the first time about his injury. So seems to be in as good a spirits as he can be. So we'll let him tell you a bit more in detail about how he's getting on with the injury and what he thinks to the performance against Joshua Van.
When I go to the UFC today, I think I'm having my best shape of my life. When I see Joshua Van out the other side of the octagon, I believe I can finish him in the first round. That's what I try to do. Best camp of my life, best catch weight, best everything, I feel so comfortable in the octagon. That's my octagon, that's my belt. That's everything I did in my life, in my whole life to that moment, And Joshua Van just came and win this belt. I talk with my wife about that, it's not just about myself today, it's about Joshua Van, Joshua Van, that's his destiny to win this belt tonight. And he just can win this belt with my injury today, And I talk with God gives him the message. And I really believe in God and all the message. I pray a lot. And I want to work very hard. I work very hard all my life, and I'm gonna work again, and I'm gonna take my belt again. I really appreciate all the message. Everybody know about myself. Everybody understand. I'm a very respectful guy. I respect first my family, then everything. I'm never gonna say bullshit about anyone. I just want to work very hard and bring my belt to my home again. Appreciate everybody. Tomorrow, fly back to home. Monday, I'm start to...
Another thank you to Full Send MMA for this next clip. But we've got Joshua Van being gifted a presidential Rolex after his win over Pantoja. Wow, he can't get a much better night than that. UFC champion and getting gifted a Rolex. But yeah, let's have a little look at the video. See how the Rolex is looking on old Van. He looks gassed in the video, to be fair. I mean, fucking hell, I'd be. A big thank you to Dovey MMA for this next clip. But this is from the post-fight press conference. Dana White talking on Pantoja's injury and when he thinks Pantoja will be returning.
His shoulder back in. I thought it was the elbow.
I did too.
No, it was not the elbow.
Shoulder?
It was his shoulder. And they popped it back in backstage. And, now they got to do, MRIs and check out the ligaments and see how it is. So we don't have a time frame on how long he'll be out.
I know the Tuesday answer as well, but I mean, given the way that thing played out, if he's okay, do you run that one back right away? Do you see what he's doing first?
I don't think no matter what happens, listen, I'm no fucking doctor or anything, but I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I think that there would be a defense before he comes back. I think he's going to need some time. The healing process and sometimes, or most of the time, I would say ligaments are worse than a break. He's got to come back from that, and then how long till he starts striking again and stuff like that. So, yeah, there'll probably be a defense before.
Thank you to MMA Fighting for this next clip. We've got Joshua Van reacting to Tatsuro Taira's win and whether or not he thinks he's a worthy opponent for the title shot next.
Into you backstage and you met, and he said in his mind the fight's already booked. So, can you elaborate on that meeting and what did you make of his performance?
Yeah, he looked great tonight. You know what I mean? Like I said, I do want to give the champ. I mean, I am the champ now, but I do want to give Pantoja a rematch for sure. But like I said, whatever the UFC want, you know what I mean. So whatever it is, man, they got.
Shout out to Homer Fight for this next video, and we've got Dana White talking about whether Joshua Van's going to be fighting Pantoja in the next title fight, or whether Pantoja's still going to be recovering and they're going to have to make some other sort of matchup. I'll take it away, Dana.
If he's okay, do you run that one back right away? Do you see what he's doing first?
I don't think he's, no matter what happens, listen, I'm no fucking doctor or anything, but I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I think that there would be a defense before he comes back. I think he's going to need some time. The healing process and sometimes, or most of the time, I would say, ligaments are worse than a break. So he's got to come back from that, and then how long till he starts striking again and stuff like that. So, yeah, there'll probably be a defense before.
And what's going to be our last video on the co-main event, thanks to MMA Junkie, we've got Joshua Van discussing whether or not it was a fluke. Bit similar to one couple videos back, but going a bit more into depth, whether or not he thinks it would be the same again if they rematched.
Like I said, it was this whole week. It was kill or be killed. You know, I knew I was going to win the fight, but I didn't want the fight to end that way for sure. And as soon as he's recovered, man, I want to run it back. You know, just because I respect him so much. He's one of the greatest of all time and things like that. So I do want to run it back with him.
Is your idea that, hey, let's see how he's doing for, like, would you prefer to run it back with him first before someone else? Does it matter? Like, does it matter who you face next, knowing that you want to face him eventually?
I would say it don't matter, but like I said, man, I feel like he deserved it. You know what I mean? So whatever the UFC want is what I'm going to do next, but I do want to run it back with him for sure.
What would you say to somebody that says, I can't count that guy as a real champion, that fight didn't really play out? Like, what would you say to him?
Fuck them. Yeah. If you do good, they will talk shit. And if you do bad, they will talk shit. So do what makes you happy, you know what I mean? So it don't matter what they think, man.
In the main event, and what was a cherry on top of an absolutely unreal card, we have Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan. Now, oh my God, this is what I thought Peter Yan was going to do to Merab when they fought the first time back in 2023. I was even sat at my mate's watching it. He didn't know anything about UFC. And I said, this Yan, he's unreal. He's the next thing. Yeah, and then I watched Merab take down or attempt to take Yan down 50 times in one of the most painful experiences ever. And then I had to hand over 20 quid to my mate. He don't even watch the UFC. But yeah, oh my God. Absolute unreal performance. One of the best fights I've watched in absolutely ages. Definitely got to be up there with my top 3 minimum title fights that I've seen live. Absolutely unreal performance from Yan. Not a bad showing from Merab either, but yeah, wow. I mean, I thought Merab was the GOAT. I mean, he still arguably is. We'll have to wait and see how a rematch pans out. But Yan's got an argument to be the GOAT if he beats Merab in a rematch, especially because obviously all going back to when he kneed Aljo after he won the belt off of Aldo. He had the Aljo fight with the knee. Then he did lose to Aljo fair and square in their rematch. But he's been on an absolute tremendous run since he lost to Merab that first time. I think he's beat, I want to say, I don't even know off the top of my head, but he's beat a solid 3 or 4 top level opponents to get to where he is now. There's so many options that you could go down now. I think it's going to be the Merab rematch if he wants to get straight back in there. But I mean, you got Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong coming up. Who else at 35? Not Murphy, that's the weight class above. But you've got Sandhagen, Figueiredo, obviously losing to Sandhagen, but you got Umar as well. I mean, bantamweight's looking stacked at the minute, and I mean, yeah, just wow, what an absolutely unreal fight. I've not even rewatched it yet, you know. I'm gonna go show my nan this last fight. Big shout out to my nan as well for watching these fights with me. She doesn't have to, but she's gone, no, I'll watch them with you. And she's even gone that little extra step further and gave me a bit of input, gave me a little special guest on my video. So big shout out to me nan for that. Lots of love. But I'm going to go rewatch this fight, the last fight of the card, and then I'm going to give you guys my final opinion on the main event. And then we've got a bit of new fight news and stuff like that to break out. And then I'm going to close at the video because it's been a little bit of a long one. But obviously, hopefully it's not too bad on your ears with the little video clips in here and there. Not just fucking listening to me for an hour straight. But no, let me go rewatch this awesome fight. And I'll get back to you guys in a minute. Sound. We've just rewatched Peter Yan versus Merab 2. Wow, Nan, what did you think to that?
I thought Jan was great from the start, and I didn't think he was ever going to let the other one in.
No, unreal performance. Right, thank you very much for your help tonight, Nan.
All right.
That's the final cameo from my nan in today's video. Was awesome to rewatch the fights with my nan and granddad. My granddad was semi-watching them with the F1 on. I think Lando Norris won. Shout out Lando Norris. But big love to my nan and granddad coming down as well to look after me mum while I'm on my holiday and look after Nala Bear. And wow, what a fight. Round one, Jan obviously had all the talk about coming into the first fight with the injured right hand. He's never been finished in 25 fights, make that 26 now. He started off looking great. Merab was going for takedown after takedown, like he always does, which he insisted he wasn't doing at the end of the fight. But the stats say different. But 7 out of 7 takedowns defended in the first round. Close round, but I think Jan done enough to outstruck Merab and landed a big shot that wobbled him as well, and obviously defended all the takedowns, so I thought that was a no-brainer to give that round 10-9 to Jan. Round 2, 10 out of 10 takedowns defended. Merab just can't take him down at this point. Jan lands a big shot that looks like it stuns Merab. Jan ends up landing a takedown, good sprawl from Merab, ends up on top. Then they both end up back on their feet, where Jan ends up getting Merab against the cage, where Merab attempts a giddy on Jan. Jan's doing a really good job at defending the giddy, defends it well, gets up, starts busting Merab up with the jab. Another close round, but Jan's landing the bigger shots. Says they've both landed 35 significant strikes at this point, but seems very hard to believe because Jan doesn't even look like he's been in a fight and Merab's absolutely battered at this point. But I suppose he could just be wearing it a bit more, but obviously damage wins fights and Merab is a lot more damaged than Jan at this point. Great second round from Jan. I've got it 2018 heading into the third round. He's come into this with an absolutely amazing game plan. He's sticking to it, keeping backing up Merab, throwing lots of shots, feinting. Yeah, he's looking great. Round 3, Merab lands the right. He goes for a gilly. Jan picks him up, dumps him on his head. When Jan picked him up, oh my god, I couldn't believe what I was watching. He literally Soldier Boy stole Merab's whole flow, like literally, quite similar to how Talbot was doing Cejudo in their fight. Just, you know what I mean? What, you think you're the wrestler? Like, but he ends up landing a takedown. But the rest of the round is close to, pardon me, till the end of the round when Jan lands a big liver kick where Merab literally goes, screams, like literally, right on the liver. Yeah, fucking hell. Merab done good to survive that, to be fair, because it's quite similar to when Kai Kara France got hit with that liver kick. Can't remember who that was from. It might have been Moreno, you know. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, and you know, when you get hit with a liver kick, it's not like having a chin. You can have as well of a chin as you want, but you get hit in the liver, in that certain spot, your body's just going to fold, whether you like it or not. So it was a close round, but I thought that moment at the end, that liver kick definitely stole the round and secured the round for Jan. I had it 30-27 going into the fourth round, and at this point I'm very excited because I'm thinking Merab needs a finish to win this fight, and I'm watching what I thought was going to unfold 2 years ago when they fought for the first time. But yeah, real game plan, sticking to it, and real performance so far. Jan comes into the fourth round. He ends up... Yeah, and sorry, I got lost a set there on my notes. He comes close with a gilly. Merab comes close with a bit giddy a minute into the round. Jan does a great job shaking off the left leg. Ends up on top, takes Merab's back, lands a nice knee to the body on the break. A big right hand wobbles Merab again. Seems every round there seemed to be a moment from Jan, a big standout moment where he hurt Merab, where there wasn't any moments like that for Merab, in my opinion. That's what stole all of the rounds for Jan, in my opinion. But yeah, takes Merab's back, nice knee to the body, big right hand wobbles Merab again, follows up with some nice shots, landing some good combos. Massive left to the body hurts Merab again. You can see him visibly like back up, sort of grimace a bit when he's getting hit with these shots. Jan putting on an absolute masterclass performance, vintage Jan. Looking like the Jan that fought Aldo, do you know what I mean? Looking like the Jan in the first Aldo fight before hitting him with the knee. Yeah, Jan looked absolutely unreal. Like I said, I thought Merab was going to win. We love Merab in my household. Merab is my mum's favourite fighter. He's grown on me, but I'll never forget my love for Merab started from when he's put on that amazing win streak after beating Jan. But I'm always going to be Jan over Merab, like, come on. But yeah, round 5, Jan's made the perfect adjustment since the first fight. He's fought the perfect fight the whole fight. Lands a big body shot minute into the round. Phenomenal takedown defense the whole round. On the rare chance that Merab has took Jan down, he's got straight back up. He lands a big liver kick again, having another moment where he's visibly hurt Merab. Merab's backing up. He lands a nice knee in the clinch. Yeah, it might be recency bias, but I don't think so. That's got to be up there with my top 3 title fights I've seen live, with Strickland Adesanya, JDM Bilal, and yeah, that's got to be in there now as well. Jan versus Merab. What a fight. I'd love to see the rematch. Obviously, I think they've got to do the rematch. The rematch, in my opinion, could decide who's the bantamweight GOAT. I know Merab's arguably got a bit of a more impressive record than Jan. He's obviously got the 15-fight win streak as well that he's lost, losing this fight. But Jan's obviously got the amazing run he went on when he won the title against Aldo before he lost the belt against Aljo. Yeah, wow. What a fight. What a main card. What a whole event. Absolutely unreal card. One of the best cards to the year. For the last pay-per-view, that's how you get your money's worth. Absolutely unreal fight. I think there was about 14 fights, and I want to say there was 10 finishes. So, you know what I mean? It's got to be up there with some of the highest records. Yeah, absolutely unreal fight. Yeah, what a performance from Jan. I think you've got to do the rematch next. But like I say, you've got O'Malley Yadong, you've got Umar, you've got options. Bantamweight stats. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to I'm hoping Jan's gonna go on an absolute tear. Yeah, and get that bantamweight GOAT status. But yeah, that's UFC 323. The fights, I think we've got a few videos of Peter Yan and Merab discussing the fight. But I'm going to get them through to you guys, and then I'm going to discuss the fights that got announced on this card. So, no, great performance from Jan, and yeah, let's see what they got to say. Thanks to MMA Junkie, we've got a video of Peter Yan getting carried out on his teammate's shoulders after winning the bantamweight title at UFC 323. Thanks to Full Send MMA, this next clip we've got Peter Yan having a bit of banter on about saying Merab's going to be in his jacuzzi like the old Dagestani boys.
Merab Dvalishvili was 2 for 29 on takedown attempts. What do you think when you hear a number like that?
Что я думаю? Сейчас, наверное, он в джакузи опять с мальчиками.
What can I say? He's probably in jacuzzi right now with the boys hashing it out.
Не, ну он всю неделю там много говорил, честно сказать.
The whole week he kind of talked a bit too much. I'll be honest about it.
Я думаю, что мое время немножко пришло.
I think maybe it's finally my time for a bit.
Little bit, да?
A little bit, a little bit.
I'm don't like, болтовни вот этой всей, да, лишней.
I don't like all this blabbering, too much talking. Nah, I don't like it.
Но он немножко этого заслуживает.
But he kind of deserves it.
Thank you, Championship Rounds, for this video. A bit of a controversial one in my opinion, with Jan saying that Merab's got to work his way back to a title shot. I thought it was close enough a fight for Merab to get the immediate rematch, especially considering the 15-fight win streak, the run that he's gone on, the caliber of opponents. It's his 4th title fight of the year, so the weight cut, must be taking a toll on him. I'll say give him 6 months and make the rematch sometime in June. You could even put that on the White House card, June, July times. That's a solid fight to have on the opening on the main card, something like that. Because I think if the White House card has got to be full of title fights on the main card, if you want it to be as big as you want it to be, and top UFC 300, etc., etc. But yeah, let's see what Jan's got to say.
What do you think is the next step? A trilogy with Merab or a fight against Umar? And who do you think is a more dangerous opponent?
Вы же видели бой Мераба с Умаром. Вы видели, как он прошел, как он проходил.
But you saw the fight of Merab versus Umar. You saw the way that fight went. So who's more dangerous?
Они могут провести реванш, и мы посмотрим.
They can rematch, and then we can see what happens.
Вы просто, опять же, понимаете, чтобы я повторно подрался за пояс. 3 боя дали, чтобы я провел 3 боя. Очень долго я к этому шел, понимаете?
You know, just understand the fact that for me to get the opportunity to fight for the belt again, UFC made me go 3 more fights before I was able to get into the...
Now, what's going to be the last video on the main event of tonight? We've got Peter Yan going into a bit more detail on his victory and how he thinks his performance was against Merab. Take it away, Peter.
In front of you now, especially if you think back to the night where you need Aljamain Sterling in the head, and it just seemed like things could never get back on track from there.
Я вообще в шоке был от происходящего.
You know, I was personally shocked by that whole skid of going down that road. But this is just a fighter's character. You know, as a fighter, you see when somebody loves what they do. And I want to tell you, I love what I do.
You were winning that fight with Aljamain, the first one, until that mistake happened. You weren't able to get a title defense in that reign. How important is it to you now to get one and many more in this title reign?
You know, man, I don't care. It took me so long to get here and get what rightfully mine. There's definitely going to be a defense. It doesn't matter who. You know, I changed so much professionally. I changed the training, the preparation. If you look back at the 5 years ago when I was fighting against Jose Aldo, it was a whole different mentality. Like, I didn't understand correctly what you must do to prepare to be a champion. You know, there's a saying, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with a team. So this is what I understood. You have to
So quick little recap of the night. We went 4-10 on prediction. Sorry, 4-14 on predictions. We got 4 correct, 10 wrong. But who the fuck cares about predictions when you're having a real fight card like that? Good job I'm not a betting man anymore. But, yeah, wow, what an absolutely unreal night of fights. Yeah, absolute great stuff. Last little bit, let's have a quick little chat about the upcoming fights that actually got announced live on the UFC 323 broadcast. Starting off, looks like it could be a fucking barn burner. We've got Benoit Saint Denis versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker obviously coming off that loss to Arman Sarukian the other weekend. I don't think there's much shame in that. Armin obviously should have fought his son for the title if he didn't fanny about with Nina and end up doing that thing to his neck, pulling out a day or two. Well, apparently he missed weight, and that's the real reason. But pulling out a day or two before a title fight for whatever reason, there's not much of an excuse. Dan Hooker was riding a 5-fight win streak before that, I believe, with some nice wins over Gamrot. Can't remember who else off the top of my head. Benoit Saint Denis is obviously coming off that unreal performance over. Oh, he fought. What's his name? Fucking Benil. He fought Benil Dariush last. Coming off that lovely win to Benil Dariush where he flatlined him in the first 20 seconds with what looked like the first punch that actually landed. Benil just crumbled, and before that, what he done to Marcus Rufi was, oh my god, I thought Rufi was gonna smoke Benil. Benoit, sorry, but just how good's Dustin Poirier clearly, because fucking hell, after that Dustin Poirier loss, Benoit's looked. He's looking not unstoppable, but he's on a right tear. This has got massive potential to be fireworks. Going to be a great fight. If I had to do an early prediction just off the top of my head, I think Benoit's got. I think Benoit's going to come in and do the job against Dan Hooker. But what a fight that's going to be, I think. Up next, what's going to just as easily be as entertaining, if not more so, Rafael Viziev versus Marcus Rufi. Viziev, I want to say, coming off the loss to Gaethje back in London, if I remember. I'm pretty sure he had a fight scheduled. I can't remember against who, but that got cancelled not too long ago. Rufi obviously coming off that loss to Benoit as well, but before that loss to Benoit, he was looking absolutely unstoppable. This is gonna be a spinning kicks galore, I can fucking imagine. Fiziev and Rufi both have such an amazing fight style, so entertaining. It's like fucking watching an old fucking not fucking Claude Van Damme. Who the fuck does Kickboxer? I forget his fucking name. Whatever the fucking fella is that does the Kickboxer film. Like all the mad spinning kicks, fucking. Oh, that is going to be one that you don't want to miss. I'm very excited for that fight. Early prediction on it. I think Fiziev's just that bit of a higher level. He's fought higher level opponents. Obviously just going off of that performance against Benoit. Obviously Benoit's looking really good. I don't know if he's that good. He's just made Rufi look that bad. But if I'm going to have to go on past fights, who they've fought, experience, the fight style's pretty much the same. I think they match up great. It's going to be an absolute unreal fight. But I'm going to have to go with Rafael Fiziev to get the win over Marcus Rufi. Next up, we've got Tai Tuivasa versus Tex Herrera. I'm pretty sure Tuivasa's, no disrespect, I love Tuivasa, but I'm sure he's on like a 7-fight losing streak or something like that. He had that big moment against Gane where he, I can't remember if he knocked him or if he just wobbled him, but Oh my God, imagine that, how close we come to a John Jones to Ivasa title fight. But sadly, it's just been all downhill for him from there. I want to say last time I seen Tex Herrera fight, Derek Lewis knocked him out, but he could have fought since then. Or he might be the one that lost to Anthony Smith. I don't know, I get confused with all the different Brazilians in the heavyweight division, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think it'll be a pretty fun scrap. Not something I'm too interested for, to be honest, but it's a decent little fight. It'll either be 15 minutes of them catching their breath or a knockout in the first round. But I'm not even too sure, to be fair, who I'd go with. I love Tuivasa, so I'm going to have to go with, I'd love to see Tuivasa get a nice KO over Tex Herrera. The next fight that got announced, what I believe is going to be the main event on the first Paramount card, we've got Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I love Strickland and I love Fluffy, so this is such a hard fight to pick for. Fluffy's obviously on that unreal run, absolutely dominating everyone he's coming against. I'm pretty sure he's on a 6 or 7 fight win streak. That performance against Delidze, which I'm pretty sure was his last fight, just pure domination on the feet, striking, the grappling. When he's actually got someone on the ground, he's staying busy, landing big shots, not just laying on top of them as well. You love to see it. Strickland, on the other hand, obviously one of my favourite fighters. Yeah, like I say, the Strickland win against Izzy is probably my favourite performance and favourite title fight I watched live. Just the shock factor. I love Strickland, but didn't think it was going to happen. And obviously love an underdog story. And fuck me, was that some underdog story when he had him knocked in that first round. And oh my God, even better, he went on and put a masterclass on and won a decision, so it couldn't get called a fluke KO. But yeah, this fight's going to be amazing. Oh, I don't even want to pick. I want to say I can't remember. My memory's so bad. I should have checked this, but fucking hell, I've been doing this video for close to 12 hours now. Just the talking over part. So I'm done checking stuff now. But nah, it should be a really fun fight. I love Strickland, but I'm going to have to go with Fluffy on this one. I think Fluffy's going to be able to do enough to get the win over Strickland. And finally, one that I'm particularly excited for since their last fights, Michael Johnson, I believe, was like a 14-1 underdog or something daft like that, and he pulled it off. I can't remember who it was against, but I was watching it live, and yeah, you can never count Michael Johnson out. He'll beat Khabib and then fucking get absolutely KO'd by fucking Andre Jabli. Do you know what I mean? You can't write it with Michael Johnson. But Alex Hernandez on the other end, I'm pretty sure he's coming off that buzzer beater win over Chase Hooper. He's looked really good in his last couple fights. He's obviously always had that star boy potential, lost his way a little bit, but I think he's been looking really good recently. This is going to be a really good scrap. Great matchmaking, I think. You can never count either of them out, but I'm going to have to go with my boy Alex. I love watching him fight. I love watching Michael Johnson fight and all, don't get me wrong, but I'm high on Alex Hernandez right now. I think I'm riding the hype train. Yeah, I think he's going to do a job against Michael Johnson. Now, thank you guys so much if you've lasted to this point. It's my longest video yet, first time including video clips. Hopefully I've kept up with all the fair use and stuff like that. I hope I've done my due diligence, so that should hopefully be all good. I've gave everyone credit, using it under the fair use guidelines. But wow, UFC 323, you've been absolutely unreal. What a way to I thought was going to end the year, but I'm pretty sure there's a card next week, sorry, not a pay-per-view, so obviously doesn't mean anything, but on paper it shouldn't be as good as this card, and especially how this card's turned out, it's going to be very hard to beat it next week. But obviously I'm on my holiday for a week, so if I get the chance on my holiday, I'll try get set up and get a prediction video out for you guys on, I think it's Brandon Royval versus Manel Cape next week. Not looked at the card, don't know who else is on it, but Brandon Royval versus Manel Cape, that'll be a great fight. Yeah, I hope I've done a good job breaking it down, showing you the different clips, the different pictures of the event. I hope it's been really informative. I'm trying to save you having to go back and watch the fights if that's not your sort of thing. If you're just at work, you want to bust your earphones in, hear what's happened with the fights, I'm trying to be your man, do you know what I mean? So now, thank you so much to all the mandem that fucking support the channel already, supporting the Insta. I always see you liking it, sharing it. Don't go unnoticed, lads. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. I didn't think I was going to get a video out this weekend, considering I'll be in the airport in like T-minus 12 hours. But I'm so happy I got it smashed out. Yeah, if it wasn't such a good card, you definitely wouldn't be seeing this video, but it was too good of a card to not drop a video on. Big thanks again to my nan for partaking in the video, special guest cameo for the main card. Big shout to my nan and granddad again, coming and looking after my mum so I can go on holiday. Very grateful and fortunate to have nice grandparents that will come and do that for me, and look after me pup. UFC 323, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it so much. I hope everyone really enjoyed UFC 323. I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I hope everyone has an absolutely awesome Monday tomorrow and have a great week, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.